Hello everybody, my name is Sam. I'm a senior at Smoky Valley High School in Vision Tech. I'm here to kind of do a commentary on a movie that I made for a competition called eMagine, and just for a project in the class. My movie was called A Stone Among Stones, and I guess we can just get right into it. The first thing you'll see is some B-roll that I'll talk about after it's over. The voice is Wesley Johnson, who is also a Vision Tech student. And yeah, let's go.
We gather here today to celebrate a life lived to the fullest with the cards it was dealt. Beth Reed epitomized hope. Her will to be strong for her children, her husband, and her family was breathtaking, to say the least.
So this B-roll that you're seeing here right now is stuff that in all honesty, I did it much before I filmed any of my other stuff. Obviously, there's no snow on the ground. That was one thing that I had a problem with, but it was just so pretty, the lighting that day, that I just wanted to use it. This first shot was inspired by Joe Refi. He's the one who came up with it, and I think it's just brilliant. We use it twice in the film. We'll call back to that later. This is Brock Savage. He's also a senior. He did an amazing job as the lead character. This guy walking in here is Joe. Also did an amazing job.
Long day, huh?
I remember that.
Yeah. What did it? If you don't mind me asking.
So,
Cancer.
one of the big problems that I faced was audio. I've never been a huge fan of putting dialogue in my movies, just because the audio on camcorders or even the DSLRs that we use to record this, it's just not where I want it to be. So I played with external mics and booms and stuff, but at the end of the day, we just didn't have any equipment that was better than the DSLR, which actually turned out to be great. This audio here is much better than I thought it could be.
I don't really know you. I mean, bad time. It's okay. I could use a walk.
Of course, I had Coldplay music in the background here, naturally.
Yeah, I think we're in the same English class together. Third hour? Yeah, you're Brett, right? Yeah, you.
And actually, you're about to see a transition where there was actually a big long scene about Brock talking about his mother, but I just had to tear it out because I just ran out of time. My movie is exactly 8 minutes, and that's the cap, so so there's a big thing there in that block, but just cut to this. It worked out a lot better than I thought it would. And again, props to these guys. It was really, really cold that day, and they look fine, so cheesy, cliche, sky shot. This is actually one of the last things that we filmed. If I'm correct, I think it is the last thing that we filmed. The DSLR that I had from Vision Tech, the battery was dead, which is my fault. So we had to use one of the school's camcorders. So that's why the video quality here is just not up to par.
See you in physics today. Where were you? I had a doctor's appointment.
I had a cameo back there, if you didn't see that also. That was the kid who got called Four Eyes.
So, you want to hang out today? I don't know if I... Hang out with me. Where are you going? Crazy. Want to come?
I put that line in there because my dad would say that to me all the time as a kid, and I just thought that it was sincere, and yep. So yeah. They chuckled every time they said it, but it's okay. Another thing, I don't know if you noticed, but the book that he was reading is called How to Save a Life, which I feel like goes well with this. This scene was last minute. They were supposed to be out in the country walking around. I'll go ahead and let you listen to this.
She fought for 7 years, lost her hair countless times, and never once lost hope. Then I was diagnosed, and she only wore a stronger face. And now she's gone. Within 2 weeks, everything was fine.
Do you believe that everything happens for a reason?
That's hard.
Why?
How could I say there was a reason for what happened?
How could you not? I mean, why are we here, if not for each other?
I don't understand.
Nobody does. That's just how the world works. It's beautiful. We're all stumbling around, rambling on, pretending we understand something about anything. But we don't. Yet it all still seems to just fall in place. It's beautiful.
You really think the world is beautiful?
I know it is. To live your life believing that something would happen for no reason is just foolish, Brett. It's reckless. The earth is orchestrated. Everything happens for a reason.
So that scene was right out of my heart. My message, intention in this movie was everything happens for a reason, and why are we here if not for each other? And that was what I tried to get across that scene. And here's where things get really sad. That is the actor Brock's his actual father. It was really, really hard for me to ask him to play this role, just telling his son that he's going to die.
Wait. Leave me alone.
But he actually did a great job. He took it very seriously. He got in character. That took about 30 times to try and get that to fall perfectly into the frame.
Hello?
Hello, is this Brett? That's my voice.
Yeah, who's this?
Brett, this is Will's father. From what I understand, you two are friends?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what he told you. He kept a lot of secrets. One thing that I do regret is, that cough is great. That was all Joe's thinking, but, basically what's happening right now is I'm telling Brett, the character Brett, that, Will, the other character, died of cancer, right after this guy that you're looking at right now found out that he is terminally ill with cancer. And his mother just died from cancer. It's just really, really sad. This is the saddest scene in the whole movie. I really regret not getting any more shots, any more angles of Brock there. Can call back to that. Same shot. More Coldplay piano music in the background. Of course.
Is this all we become?
The tear was
Stone among stones.
just a quick idea. We put some snow on his face.
Life
It worked
filled
out
with
so well.
countless dreams, emotions.
The scene is hard to watch.
After everything.
Not because he did a bad job, it's because it was just so brutal, just what he's saying, the words. I can never thank him enough for playing this part.
A symbol that we died.
He put everything into
Just
this
like
that he
everyone
had.
else.
It was really
Just
awesome
like
to watch.
everyone else. But there's a reason for everything. And we're only here for each other. And who am I here for? What's your reason?
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait. Is that a reason? Oh, it is. It is a reason. You're here for him. For each other. Ooh, well executed. I like this scene because it accidentally was much better than I thought it would be. I like to get as many shots of something as I can, and I feel like we did well in this. And actually, I put my glasses in the pocket. That was Joe's idea. We didn't mean to call back to the Four Eyes thing. That was an accident, but it worked out well. Same, just like he walked in at the beginning. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Long day, huh?
Ooh. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I put a lot into this. Everything that I had. Things that I would change. There were a couple shots that were just rushed. For example, the scene that I kind of shut up on this video. Whenever they were walking around, that was last minute completely. You see, we had about 3 hours to film everything at the cemetery and that scene, the walking around scene. And the goal was to get everything at the cemetery done and then get out into the country. We have a great place out in the country called Coronado Heights where it's cliche for Vision Tech kids to film out there, but that's okay because it's just beautiful. And it's going into a contest where, beautiful film gets rewarded. But it just didn't work out. We just didn't have time. So actually all that stuff was filmed like right across the street from Vision Tech because we had to run back in and go on to our next class. It turned out much better than I thought. I wasn't planning on putting a filter on it, but it worked out well. I think it looks great with the filter with that snow. Another imperfection, the Jeep that they get out of to go on that walk is the same Jeep that the third character gets out of, so that doesn't make any sense. But maybe they both have black Jeeps, who knows. The library scene, I really, really wish I could have filmed that with a DSLR. I feel like it could have been much prettier. But that was tough because we just didn't have it. And that was just right at the end. I had to get it done. I feel like I didn't procrastinate too much on this. I worked a solid 4 weeks on it, pretty hard. The hardest part for me was probably writing the script. If there's anything that I am most confident about this project, it is definitely the script. The footage, I feel like could have definitely been better. Brock and Joe did a flawless job. It was I could not have asked for better people. I'm just ecstatic with how they did with this. They both really cared about it. They both really read into the script and felt what I felt when I was writing it, and it was awesome to see and work with them. But I really feel like my strength was the story that I wrote. Yeah. I can't think if there's anything else that I would change. I would want it to be longer. The fact that I feel like this plot is only 3 days long, and originally it was going to be about 3 weeks. They were going to be friends for a long time before Joe's character kicked the bucket. But I just didn't have time, so it had to be 3 days because 8 minutes is not a long time at all. If I had 2 more minutes, I could have done so much more. But I just didn't. The original cut was like 12 minutes long, so I had to cut a lot of stuff out, make a lot of tight transitions. Yeah, I feel like one of the first things that I ever wrote, like I kind of talked about it whenever it happened, but whenever they're walking in the cemetery and it kind of fades to black, and then it just fades back in and they're immediately on the bench talking. That was one scene that it sucked to have to cut that out because when I originally wrote it, I really visualized that. It was going to be a scene of just a young kid, Brock's little brother, who looks just like him as a younger form. Him just like playing with his mother, and I had just some sincere dialogue to voice over there, which would have been really cool. But you know what? I'm very happy with this project. It's I feel like probably one of the better, if not the best one that I've ever made. So yeah, I'm excited to share it with the world.